and I felt like something was like pulling on my body, something was leaving my body.
Hello friends, I am Nisha. Welcome to my channel that is all about enhancing what you have. Today I am back with another video of ghost stories, and today I have a guest with me, which is Aiman. So if you're new to my channel, we do ghost stories and I share ghost stories, real ghost stories sent by you guys. Some are my real incidents, some are of my friends, so stuff like that. And if you want to be part of Ghost Stories gang, then what you have to do is you just have to DM me on my Instagram, that is Lineha, and we will share your videos. So let's get started. So this first story is by Anonymous, and that's how it goes. When I was 8, my family moved into an old colonial that was built in 1810. My father still lives there. Until I was 17, even before I fell asleep, I would feel pressure next to me, as if someone sat down on the bed next to me. This would always be accompanied with a feeling of increased pressure in the air. Although I knew this probably didn't happen to everyone, I didn't think much about it. Until I got a cat. He was a present for my 12th birthday. Each night he would sag out on the bed near my feet. Each night he would bolt from a dead sleep and glare at something in the doorway before hightailing it out of there. A few moments later, the pressure would return. Again. While this was a weird thing to happen, I didn't really question it. Maybe the cat was just neurotic. I didn't talk about this nightly occurrence to anyone. However, I did refer this feeling, presence, what have you as Charolette. I don't know why. So one day in the summer when I was 13, an elderly man and his middle-aged daughter pulled up to our house and explained that the father lived in the house with his aunt while he was a boy, and that he raised his family there for a few years. They had been visiting family in the neighborhood, and they wondered if they could take a tour for old times' sake. My mom said sure. She, my sister, and I led them around the house, and they recalled different memories. Afterward, my mom asked them if they remembered strange occurrences or stories about the house, like ghosts. The old man asked and chuckled. His daughter became very quiet and said firmly, "It's not funny, Dad." The man explained that everyone who slept in one bedroom felt a little unsettled, and his daughter interrupted to say that she always felt as if someone sat on the edge of the bed and she tried to go to sleep. Her father said they used to joke that it was just his aunt looking out for them, his Aunt Charlotte. What? This confirmed what I had never admitted to myself. I had a freaking ghost that basically tucked me in at night for the previous 5 years. Still, going to bed was never freaky or scary. I just tried to ignore the feeling when it came. Until one night when I was 16, my parents had been going through a weird patch in their marriage. I was feeling depressed, and in general, it was a weird year. To be honest, I've seen that when there are, ghosts in the house, or, the house is haunted, I have always heard that, if somebody is married, they always break up or get divorced or something like that. Like the family is broken. What do you think?
Yes, that's true. And people go into rage usually. They start arguing, they start fighting. those kind of things happen a lot when there are, entities present.
I went to bed after about 20 minutes. The cat took his typical bolting exit from the bed, and I felt the familiar pressure on my side. Then I felt a hand brush through my hair. Then I ran straight downstairs to the living room where my mom was dozing. She woke up when I burst into the room, saw my face, and asked what was wrong. I told her I had a nightmare and left it at that. God.
It was creepy.
I know. I spent a week sleeping in the guest room. When I got the nerve to go back to my room, I was nearly asleep when I realized I didn't feel the pressure next to me. I did feel pressure in the air. I rolled on my back and saw the figure of a woman in her 60s, wearing a house dress, her hair pulled back in a bun, with her arms folded. She was looking right at me, very concerned.
Oh God.
When I found my voice, she disappeared. I said out loud, I don't care if you stay, but I can never, ever, ever see you again. I never did. However, a few years later, after my parents divorced and my dad moved in his girlfriend and her 4-year-old son, I wasn't really surprised when she told me her little boy said a lady named Charolette told him stories at night. Oh my God, I got goosebumps.
That is very scary.
Has anything like that happened to you?
Actually, I have a little story that I wanted to tell you today.
Yeah.
So, a little context. My mom's grandma, my great grandma, she used to recite a lot and she used to pray a lot. So she was really religious, and we heard that she had entities under her control, and she used to, make them do stuff. So she used to visit my nano a lot, and I used to stay at my nano's place. I used to have a lot of sleepovers there. So one night, my nano's room has this little night light. It's green. Now that I think about it, it's really creepy.
Okay.
But at that time, I was just used to it.
Okay.
We were all sleeping. I just got up in the night and I saw that she was reciting something. She was hunched over and she had a shawl on her face. That was weird because she did not have a shawl on her face before. She was just hunched over and a huge round pillow in front of her, and she was just moving like this, and she was reciting something. And I found that a little creepy, but that was kind of normal because she usually, did this.
All of us do
Yes,
that when
yes.
we recite something. Yeah.
But the next thing that I saw,
Okay.
that just took my breath away.
Okay, what
in
was
a
that?
bad way.
Okay.
So I looked up, and there was this black figure, as if it was just like a burqa, or Dementors from Harry Potter.
Oh my God.
It was just spinning on the ceiling like this, and she was just doing this, and she was just reading something, and I could not. Now my hair are standing again.
Okay.
And I could not. Maybe that was sleep paralysis, but I'm not sure. That thing was just moving, and then I was just looking at it. I was trying to speak, but I couldn't. I tried to wake up my nano. Her back was towards me, and she was snoring as usual, but I could not say anything. And then suddenly that thing came over me, like it was from head to toe, but it wasn't touching me. It was hovering in the air, and it was on me, and I felt like something was like pulling on my body. Something was leaving my body, like energy. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was Harry Potter inspired. I don't know, but still, it was kind of painful. But I was really, really, really scared at that time. I was crying. I could not speak, and I kind of fainted after that. And then I woke up, and everything was just normal. I did not tell anyone at that time. I was so traumatized. I did not return to my nano's house for months.
And did you told her later on or not?
I did not tell my great grandma, but I did tell my nano, and she said that things have happened around my great grandma. My aunt actually told me that she used to sleep over at my great grandma's house, and one time she was sleeping on the charpai, on the cot next to her, and she woke up in the middle of the night and she saw that there was light coming out of her mouth and half closed eyes. And she got so scared, she just covered herself with a blanket and she just started reciting Ayatul Kursi and other verses. And the next day she told my great grandma that she saw that and she was like, don't ever sleep here again. She was a scary woman. She was really, but she used to recite a lot. She used to give us, taweez and stuff for our protection as well. But that thing that happened, that is embedded in my head forever. I don't know if it was sleep paralysis. A lot of people say it wasn't, but
whatever that was
horrible.
That was horrible.
Yes. So that was the biggest
And
story for the day.
who knows about this incident in your family? Your mother?
My mom and my nano knows this.
And what did they said about it?
My mom was really scared after she heard it. She told me that it might be real because these things happened a lot in our family. Jinns and entities and everything, even black magic and stuff. So she said that it might be real. It might be a nightmare or something, but she thought it was real. And my nano said if something was happening, she would have woken up. But my nano's kind of a heavy sleeper. She falls asleep while I'm talking to her. So
my mother can see stuff.
Oh.
So if I ever tell her when something happens, she always laughs it off. And that's more creepy, because I never have answers. If what happened, was that real or not? I never have answers.
That's the thing, you're always in doubt that was that real or was that not. You never get the right answer. You're always figuring out, was that noise something related to was that a paranormal thing, or was it just a coincidence, or was that a cat or something.
Exactly.
That's creepy.
And you were telling me that last night something happened where you're
yes, I don't live in Lahore. I came here 2 days ago, and I'm staying at my friend's house apartment. She's not here, but last night me and my sister was sleeping. I was getting ready to sleep, and I heard some people I heard noises, but those were the neighbors. But then I heard a weird scratching on my bedroom door, and she did say that there are mice in the building, but she says they're in the ceiling, so I'm not sure. But it was like someone scratched on the door, and I keep hearing noises there as well, like switches turning on and off, and I don't know, that. But that scratch was really, really weird. And then I woke up my sister, and she heard it too later on.
Oh my god. And for how long was it, you could hear the noise?
It was just for a second.
Okay.
First someone scratched it like this, and then it stopped. Then I woke up my sister and I said, listen. Then after half a minute or so, the scratch was there again.
Oh my god.
And she got so scared. Then I decided Ayatul Kursi. I blew each corner of the room.
Yeah.
And then I just prayed that I could sleep and nothing weird would happen.
Oh god.
Okay, I have a lot of stories to tell. So I'm from Okada, and it's a really small city, and it's really old as well.
Yeah, in Pakistan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So my house, there's a school right next to it, and it's really, really old. The whole place is so old. My house, we rebuilt it, but still the land and everything is pretty old. And my grandpa used to tell us that
how old? 50 years, 60 years, 70?
No, my grandfather migrated from India when Pakistan was being made. So I'm sorry.
Almost,
so the whole family,
yeah,
yes,
as old as Pakistan.
Yes,
Okay.
kinda. But we rebuilt the house, but the land is still there.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be haunted. And my puppo, she lives with us, and
Your aunt?
Yes, my aunt lives with us, and her son as well.
Okay.
So many years ago, I think I was 12 or something, and her son was 4 or 5. They were sleeping, and he kind of moans in his sleep. He kind of makes this noise as if he's being tortured or something. But we thought he usually has nightmares and stuff. But at that night, my aunt woke up and she saw a weird cloud over her son, and it was like smoke, like thick smoke, and it was coming from the window from the school side. And the school is like, it is extremely haunted. Things have happened there a lot, and there was this smoke coming from that side, and it was on him, and he was shaking, and he was like moaning, and like he was in a lot of pain. Then she started reciting Ayatul Kursi and a lot of other things, and she started blowing it away, and then it was gone. And in the morning, my cousin did not know anything. He just said he was sleeping. He did not remember anything. And he was a baby, like he was 4 or 5. He did not remember anything. But like my puppo has seen other things as well there. Like she's like, even I have not seen anything there, but I sometimes hear the windows rattling on their own, and like especially at midnight, I hear switches turning on and off and things like that.
So, do you remember, like, once I told you guys the story of the smoke surrounding the house and everything? When I was alone with my sister, like,
Yes,
this
yes.
was the room.
Oh, this was the room.
This was the room where, like, everything started.
Oh gosh.
Like, I was sitting here, and then we had this kitchen, like, on the back side. And now we don't have it. So, we started hearing the noises of utensils, falling on the floor. And it went up to for like I think 50 seconds, 40 seconds. I could constantly hear things falling on the floor, and once it stopped, there was this smoke or fog surrounding us.
Yes, I
like
remember.
in this entire room went. Then we just ran out. Like this was the room it happened in. But thankfully nothing happened after that.
Gosh. When I came in, I was thinking that is
Like,
that
this
the
is
room?
this is the room. This is the room. This is the room.
Oh.
And I don't know, because this was the room I have grown up in, or you can say I've been born in. This is one of the oldest rooms in my house, and I don't know. Maybe because I'm too much interested in haunted stuff. I don't know. I just feel like I'm always attracting such things.
That's actually true. When you're interested, especially in these kind of things.
It's not even that I'm interested, I'm scared to death. But now I have come onto the terms that
it is what
it is there, anything can be there, and due to which I'm always now more alert. And I think knowing such stories helps you understand that apart from everything natural, there is supernatural and paranormal stuff,
There definitely
and
is.
you don't have any explanation for that, but it does exist. I remember this one friend of mine, now like that person, like we're no more friends, but he did send a story which I shared in the Urdu part, if you have seen that. So where he was telling that there was this doctor who used to visit this spiritual healer where they visit, and this doctor got possessed by some entity when he was out of country. He was driving and it was raining a lot, and suddenly he hit a deer. The deer died. Later on, when this person came to Pakistan, he's a doctor. I think he was a heart doctor, right? You remember or not?
I actually don't remember that.
Okay, so I think he was a cardiologist, and whenever he said that whenever he used to operate on people, he could hear someone telling him that how should he operate, and his health was deteriorating in days. Like if anybody would have seen him a week ago, next week he would be looking very thin and sick. So this was happening very fast. So this person visited the spiritual healer my friend used to go to. Well, that healer asked him that when you were out of country, did you like hit your car with something or something like that? So he said, yes, once I did hit and a deer died. in Canada. So he said that there was a spiritual entity in that deer, which we call Jinn, and unfortunately, when you hit it and the deer died, that entity, decided to be with you, and it has decided that it is not going to leave you. It's going to eat you from within, and it's not leaving you. Like, and it says that it's going to take you with him. And what happened was that after a couple of weeks, he did pass away, but like there is no explanation to it, but still.
Was there no kind of cure for that? Like the
How can you cure it?
like
He did went to psychologists because he was a doctor himself. He did went to other doctors as well, and they said that you're perfectly fine.
no, I mean like healers, like spiritual healers and religious people and like that. They usually have something that can shoo the entity away or
I
something.
do get that, but I think that sometimes like not everyone is that gifted, or sometimes it's like we do have cure for everything, but we do die, right?
Yeah.
Like even though we have cure to everything, we don't have cure to death, right?
That is true.
So it must have been something like that. I don't know, like if anybody could have helped him or not, but this happened to him.
That is sad. That is sad.
Kind of sad, but it's still scary how you can just go by your life and suddenly you just
Start
have
being
an
eaten by
entity following you, and your entire life, your aspirations, they're over. And I just hope before that happens, I can be successful before I die, if it happens.
No, I hope it does not
I
happen.
hope it doesn't happen, because this is the creepiest thing.
That is, and you don't know like
Where to go or where is the
yes,
problem.
and the healer said that that entity is going to take you with him, with itself and whatever. So like, where did his soul go?
I don't
Did the
know.
entity take the soul?
Maybe he
with?
wanted his body, not his soul, because I don't know. Like,
So I have another scary story,
okay.
and it's just really scary. It's not about me. My mom's colleagues' husband's family. It's about them.
Yeah.
So that guy went to a village and someone died from his family, so he had to attend the funeral.
Okay.
And there were a lot of people at the funeral, and like the deceased, the person was just on a cot over there, and everyone was around him, and they were praying and everything.
Like he was on the deathbed, basically, which we
Yes.
call deathbed. Okay.
Yes. So they were just praying and reciting verses, but then they decided to keep the body overnight because people were going to come for the funeral the next day. So everyone just fell asleep at night,
Okay.
and that person who told everyone the story, he woke up in the middle of the night, and what he saw was the person who died. He got up and he suddenly like got really tall, like really tall, about like 50 feet or something. And he took the the cot has this rope.
Okay.
He took that rope out and he started measuring people's heights with it.
Which people? Like the
Like
one
the
who were
ones
sleeping?
who were sleeping.
Okay.
And you could tell that when he would finish measuring them, like their soul would leave the body. Like how people would like they will just go limp like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
And he was measuring people like that, and one by one people were dying. The guy, he was so terrified he could not move, but then he just tried his best and he crawled from there and he went out and he ran towards the nearest mosque. He told the Maulvi that what happened, and they just rushed towards the house, and there it was huge. That entity was huge.
Oh my God.
And the Maulvi started reciting and he was like, "Go away, who are you?" And he started saying stuff, and that thing that was, he just Like he just disappeared then when the Maulvi started reciting everything. And he started scolding everyone. He said, why did you just leave the body there? It's an empty vessel.
Yeah,
Anything
yeah.
can enter it.
Exactly.
And if you're gonna leave it overnight, you need to recite and pray. You need to recite the Holy Quran around it, and you need to pray so nothing will enter it, because it's just an empty vessel for entities to enter.
Exactly.
And they want to be alive, they want to feel alive, and that was something really dark that had entered it, and really strong, like a demon or something.
Oh my god.
And that day, like around 100 people died. They had to take so many funerals because of that thing that just happened. And when I imagine it, you know, if you imagine it, you yourself sleeping there and you suddenly wake up and a tall thing is just standing there and measuring people
And
with
imagine
the
you
rope.
just slept and you're dead.
Yes.
What about your life?
But I don't know why I cannot think that if you just sleep, if you're just sleeping and you died, it is not as scary as, you know, experiencing it. Like, I think that guy would not, like, he would be in a trauma for all of his life that he just saw that.
Exactly. So that is why they say that you should never be out after Maghrib.
Yes.
After, you know, the sun has set, they say that never go out. It's in Islam because they say that after sunset, different beings come out, and they say that the day is for the humans and the night is for them to, you know, be there. So that is why many incidents happen at night. Many incidents.
That is true.
So that was all from our side, and we will see you guys next time. Bye bye.
Bye.
Okay, 1, 2. खुद ही कर लो.
अच्छा, ऐसे नहीं बेहतर रहेगा कि इंट्रो आप दें, फिर जब
ओके
करना स्टार्ट हो फिर मैं
सफाई के भी तो मसले हैं ना, लेजी हैं. थोड़ा सा तुम आ गया with her.
इंग्लिश नहीं बन रही थी.
ओके. अच्छा, क्या हुआ है? ऊपर से खोल लो कुंडी. ओके.
कौन सा खाना खाते हैं?
Mio. True, थोड़ा ऊंची बोलना.
Okay.
That he raised his family. Daughter interrupted to say that she always felt. Sorry, I just see
क्यों?
तुम ऐसे गए.
मुझे भूत आ गया.
No, it's like कि बेचारी क्या कर रही है, उसका कोई रोल ही नहीं है. Anyways, okay.
हाँ.
फातिमा ही है. फातिमा अंदर आ जाओ. What do you think it would have been?
Sorry, मुझे
कोई नहीं. Okay. When I got the nerve to got back.
Okay, I have loads of stories.
ऊंची रुको.
Okay.
Stop. जब मैं बोलूँगी ना, उसके कोई कुछ सेकंड्स बाद ना ऊंची बोल.
ठीक है.
ना. एक सेकंड रुको.
पॉज कर सकते हैं? अच्छा, वो आपने वो स्टोरी सुनाई है?
ना अपने वाली. No, you never sent me. If you did, वो मैंने सुना दी थी. No, you didn't.
अच्छा, वो वाली थी कि हमारे अम्मी की ना कोलीग हैं, उनके हस्बैंड के आगे फैमिली में ना गांव में किसी की डेथ हुई थी, तो वहाँ गए थे एंड दे केप्ट द बॉडी ओवरनाइट एंड एवरीवन फेल asleep.
Yeah, you told me. You told that.
वो आपने बताई थी?
ना चाबी की आवाज निकाली, कोई टाइम है. मेरा त्राह निकल गया. हाँ, उधर ही रख दो.
वो आपने बताई थी वाला?
I think I did.
अच्छा, मुझे शायद मैंने वो वीडियो
Like अभी ये बोल देते हैं. हाँ,
अभी
okay.
बोलने.
हाँ.
अच्छा.
Okay.
Okay.
Now,